haters getting mad. That's why all my bitches bad. They see this crazy life I have and they in all. We gon' win. You can take the lose or draw. What I'm in. Got these hoes who used to play me in they bras. We gon' take over the world while these haters getting mad. Take over the world while these haters get mad. That's why all my bitches bad. They see this crazy life I have. Hop into the car and then we take them.
Alright guys, hey, we're back. I'm Jeff Gear. I'm with TSR Concrete Coatings. And I got my guy Slick Willie over here running the camera. He's the one that sets all this stuff up. And today we actually got a special guest. He approached me a while back. He wanted to talk to me. And our friend Emarc Malavolti. Said that right?
You got it.
And we're just sitting down. We're talking entrepreneurship, Wantreprenuership. We're talking business owners. We're talking what you have going on, what I have going on, and what we're doing to reshape our industries. And the first thing I want to do is I want to say I saw this kid, and I shouldn't even call you a kid, because how old are you?
28.
28. Baby face. But I saw him at, they have an event called Freeport Fish Tank. It's a little bit like Shark Tank. And at the event, I saw the branding, I saw the package, I saw what it was. It was simple. Obviously, it's you probably have great margins on it. And I saw it, and I was like, this kid's gonna win. Like, he's gonna win the thing. I go, nobody at this is going to have what Emarc had in a product that was ready to go to market. And you'd already done the research. And so what it is, it's called Fresh to Go. And tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, so the short one-liner of Fresh to Go. It's a one packet oral hygiene convenience product. Consists of your mint.
Kind of go over what's in it.
Yeah, so in here you got a piece of mint, gum, floss, and toothpick. Just really everything you need for quick, convenient oral hygiene. So I started the business as a result of wanting to come up with a solution for people who eat beef jerky. So I'm a big beef jerky fan, and I know. So
this whole thing started
this thing did not start just because I wanted to start, Fresh to Go. The long story short, I love beef jerky, but I never eat beef jerky in front of people because of two things.
Or hot dates, right?
It gets stuck in your teeth. The oral hygiene it gives you is terrible, so I never eat it in front of people. I wanted to start a beef jerky in the beginning. And I'm like, I gotta come up.
You totally fucking skipped beef jerky.
Totally skipped it. and it's not out of my mind yet. It's just, it didn't take off. This did. Okay. In wanting to start a beef jerky business, I'm like, all right, I gotta come up with a way to offer a solution to my customers, for the oral hygiene and, the product getting stuck in the teeth.
But it couldn't just be for beef jerky, though. I mean, I'm thinking movie theater, right?
Right, exactly. So when I first made this, this is the way I knew this had more potential than just being beef jerky. I was at a restaurant eating, and I had ordered steak or ribs or something like that. And I got done eating, and I whipped one of these out. And keep in mind, I hadn't marketed this to anyone yet. I'm done eating, I take one out, and I start using it because I have ribs in my teeth. Anybody who likes ribs and steak.
Love ribs.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
So I start using it, and my buddy's like, dude, give me one of those. I'm like, and immediately the thought that went through my head was, okay, there's no beef jerky here, but you want one of these. So then it just gave me the idea maybe restaurants want them.
Just started clicking.
So yeah, so I started marketing it to restaurants, bars, and that those are mainly our two clienteles, other than people wanting it for trade shows when they customize it. So
I'm thinking nightclubs too, man.
Nightclubs.
Are you getting any of those? I mean, we were just at Prism in Chicago not too long ago. I mean, we go to Prism, we go to Studio Paris, and there's always a guy there, at the sink, and he's got all those little products. So I was thinking that would be a good idea too.
But you're right, and that's the thing with Fresh to Go. It's so versatile. I mean, really, wherever there's people, this product can be there, right?
Right.
So as long as you eat and you drink, you should have a Fresh to Go on, because you never know when that moment that special lady's gonna emerge out of nowhere.
Or the mister for the ladies.
Yeah, right. My buddies say, this is condoms for your mouth. So I'm like,
condoms for your mouth?
Yeah, it took me a while to get it, but I understand now. It's protection.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's protection.
When I saw it, dude, I loved it. I thought the concept of it was great. The one thing that I noticed about you is that I'm 32, you're 28. We're younger people in an entrepreneur game. We're legit business people out here, doing work. And so you took this from an idea right?
Yeah.
Because you saw a problem, you had this issue,
Right.
or you see, a lot of people have this issue, and you just immediately found a solution for it.
Right.
But what I love about it is you actually found a solution for it that already existed.
Right.
Like that's what kills me. Like, Willie, come on. He
Yeah.
found a solution and made it 10% better on something that already fucking existed.
Exactly. Yeah.
So inside of it is the toothpick, the piece of gum, and a mint, right? Because
Yep.
not everybody's gonna want gum, and not everybody's gonna want a mint.
Bingo. Bingo.
Dude, huge.
Yeah. And the thing is, to your point is, I didn't create anything other than a convenience. I mean, to be honest, I'm not selling you gum, mint, floss, or toothpick. I'm literally just selling you a convenience. Because being honest, if you want mint, gum, floss, and toothpick, go to Walmart, buy a big package of these for way less than what I'm actually selling it to.
Yeah, but
who's gonna do that?
Who wants to carry around a bunch of gum or a bunch of mints or a bunch of those toothpick things?
Yeah, and
If you get in somebody's car and they open up their thing and they just have a ton of toothpicks, it makes you wonder what's going on.
Exactly.
Like, what are you eating?
Yeah.
So no, I love the idea. You won Fish Tank, and you won a couple grand. I think is what the deal was. What'd you do with it? I mean, where did it go?
Invested it right into the business, man.
Okay.
I had I started the business by I had a couple cars that were pretty cool. Sold them.
I see you out here flipping on Facebook Marketplace all the time.
Oh yeah, it's a fun hobby for me. I've always loved cars. I still do. I love to work on them, keep them for a while, then sell them. But I really got Fresh to Go started because of a really fun car I had. And
What car did you have?
it was a '89 S10 Chevy S10, but it was a drag street legal car.
Okay.
So the thing was. I'm talking right now.
You sold it, right?
Yeah, it had wheelie bars, the whole 9 yards, man. The thing was awesome.
For your dream, for this.
Sold it, yep, and started Fresh to Go. And as you know, in starting a business, you accumulate debt and payments and all this stuff. So, winning Fish Tank definitely helped in paying some of those bills and trying to grow the business. So, yeah, none of it went to my.
So let's talk. I think what I get a question that I get asked a lot is like, man, you had money before this. Like, how did you start this? And I think, I get that a lot. You don't have to start with anything, and so I'm gonna go on a guess, and I'm gonna write a number down for what you started Fresh to Go with.
Okay.
Okay. And I want you to tell me if I'm right.
Okay. All right. Oh my gosh, I think he's writing $1 million. He's taking forever to write it down, people.
How much was it? What'd you start it with?
Okay, so all in all, I'm gonna say
Like right out of from the very beginning.
From the very beginning.
From the concept to.
6,000.
I said $495. Because I thought you had to put a prototype together and stuff.
I did.
Yeah.
I did.
And so all of that was $6,000.
All of that together, $6,000.
So I was $5,500.
Give or take.
Okay, but the original idea, I guess in my head, I'm thinking the original idea was
of beef jerky.
Well, no, of this.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
When you put the first one together, like how much did you have in it? 4 cents.
Yeah. Under 10 cents.
Yeah.
Under 10 cents. Yeah.
So then you took that. You got some packaging, right?
Right.
You figured out the packaging problem. You figured out the distribution problem.
Yep.
So here's another fun fact that I don't know if even a lot of people know is that you're still using that center. I think it's in Mount Carroll or Lanark or something like that.
Lanark,
yep. Right?
Yep.
And so this is a place where people with disabilities go there and they work, and then this is a big contract for them, right?
It's not the biggest one they have. They have many other people that they do work for, but I'm certainly a part of them.
So, but the thing is you're providing employment.
Exactly. Yep.
So that's, they have gainful and meaningful employment, and then you're helping facilitate that by keeping the orders going, and that's awesome.
Exactly.
It's crazy how it started. So $6,000. So you take a truck that you love, you sell it, you got $6,000. You invested in this, right? Mm-hmm. For that $6,000, what did you get?
As far as just starting a business,
it
was buying packaging, finding.
So you got packaging.
I got packaging. I got a website. I got the logo. I had accountant. I had the actual product itself. I had just the whole development stage, man. I mean, it's just a big undertaking once you really start to develop a product.
Dude, you did it for $6,000.
Right.
Like, we just had a talk, like, was it last week or the other week?
Yep.
Like, if you can't make money with this, you're doing it wrong.
Dude, you know, it's great you brought that up because I just got a computer maybe a year. In fact, one of the
I'll
investors...
smack you.
Dude, I totally agree with what you just said. I mean, I've said so many times how these kids have these iPhones that cost $900, $800, but yet they're broke. You know, I don't understand that. You know, you can if you can't make money off your smartphone, God can't help you. Then.
I'm out here watching you flip cars. I mean, I see it on Facebook. Like, you're out here flipping cars.
Yeah.
I'm like, this kid's out here. He's still hustling.
Yeah.
And he's got these other things going on.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
I think, you know, when you approached me, because you want to talk to me about, you know, my businesses and things like that, which we'll get to here in a little bit.
Well, I ran into a guy who, you know, said so much good things about you, and he knows the type of people I'm attracted to as far as, you know, legit hardworking people. So that's why I had to seek you out, dude. So he said great things about you.
Well, you know, you're a dynamic person, and that's why I wanted you, you know, to come in here and talk to us. I'm a little ashamed that I was so far off. I guess I didn't realize how much you actually did. You know, I mean, you did it the right way, though. You know, so when I said $4.95, I didn't think you went and got your packaging. Like, you actually did it smart. I mean, you got a website logo. You did the whole thing. I guess I was a little short-sighted in there. I thought you just put together some stuff and went out and sold it and then did all that after the fact.
No. Yeah.
So you definitely pre-planned that. So you started with $6,000.
Yeah.
Okay. And how long have you been in business?
2 years. It will be 2 years in November.
2 years in November.
Yeah.
What in your first year, what was your projected revenue versus your actual? Where did you land?
So to be honest with you, I had no concept of that, and I didn't even, because all I had was this product, right? I know people wanted it, so I just, I don't know what the profit I'm gonna make is. All I know is, okay, it's gonna cost me less to make it than to sell it.
But at the time, did you even care?
No.
Were you just like so excited, like, I have this thing?
Bingo. Yeah, I didn't care about, you know, the percentages, I mean, all I know is, you know, just logically looking at something, if I can make it for 10 cents and sell it for you for 30 cents, go do it. Now, who cares what's in between, right? So that was my thought, dude. I mean, I'm not a businessman, you know, I think there's entrepreneurs and there's business people, you know? So I definitely say I'm the entrepreneur, but not the business guy. So yeah, I just saw this is a product that people want. I can make it for this amount. I can sell it for this amount and make a profit. Let's go. Because I think many people, Jeff, they get stuck and don't do anything because they try to figure out every little detail. And within that time, they bog themselves so far down to a point where it's like,
you're just a doer. Like, you're just doing it. It's out here doing it.
Yes. It's better to do it than just trying to have it.
I agree.
Yeah.
I'm 100% in on that. So you projected revenue, 0, because Emarc didn't care. He was excited. Okay, where did you land first year revenues?
So, first year revenue, I'd say, 50% of what I actually thought I was going to do. Now, do you want exact numbers? Because my accountant could give you all that.
Yeah, no, just round numbers. I mean, we're...
Oh, jeez. Around 28.
28,000.
28,000.
So, but you set a higher goal for yourself.
Right.
You said, so you thought between 50 and 60,000 was the revenue that you would do.
Maybe. I didn't even think like that, though. That's what I'm saying. I don't think like that. I just thought, hey, this is a great product. People may want it.
Now, how did we get to 28? What type of marketing did you do? I mean, how did you go from $0 to 28,000? Because I think that's the thing that people need to understand is, like, you have to start somewhere. You know, like, I mean, people ask me that all the time, like, you know, where did you start? Like, your social media is huge, like, you know, your internet presence is huge, you're big on digital, like, you know, you used to be all on TV, now you're not on TV anymore, you used to be on the papers, and then you weren't, now you are again, like, what is going on? Like, why are you doing those things?
Right.
And so how did you go from 0 to 28,000?
Yeah, you know, I'm going to leave it at one thing because I don't know the exact answer for that, right? I know a lot of things happen, But I really think once you're excited about whatever it is you're doing, it's contagious. And now the story I have to back that up is the newspapers, right, in Freeport. I've been in the newspapers in Freeport, whether it's for Fresh to Go or Mastermind, more times than I can count.
You know how many times I've been in the paper?
And I doubt any of those times did you actually go up to them and be like, hey, I'm doing this thing, you should put me on there. None of those times that I've been in there did I ask for it.
That's crazy.
Yeah, people just saw, oh my gosh, this guy's, he's killing it. He's passionate. Whether he's killing it or not is irrelevant.
Yeah.
They saw, man, he's passionate about what he's doing.
Okay, so let's move on. So Fresh to Go is the start of this whole like entrepreneurship deal. And then I get a call. You know, you've been doing it for a while. I've been seeing it. I'm not interested yet because I'm arrogant and I think that I'm here. You know, and I'm seeing this kid. I'm like, man, he's running this mastermind. He's calling it mastermind. He just started being an entrepreneur. He's obviously excited. People are believing in him, and I'm like, what is he going to teach me? Like, what is he going to, like, I've been out here for a decade.
Right. Yeah.
You know, hustling. And, you know, this kid who just started selling gum and toothpicks and mints is wanting me to go to his mastermind thing. I was super skeptical. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, so you have this thing that you created. Was it by yourself or with your friend Alex?
No, so Mastermind, I started by myself so I never just wanted to be mentored by a friend of mine who was successful. You know, when Mastermind just started, I called him up. I'm like, hey, dude, you're at a point in life where I have no excuse as to why I'm not there. I mean, like, just like you, this guy's only like 4 or 5 years older than me. You know, I'm like, what is it you're doing? Like, what do you know that I don't? Like, what the heck? You know, like, for crying out loud, I live in America. I have no excuse not to.
I have a cell phone.
And I have a smartphone. So it's like, if I'm not successful and I want to be, there's absolutely no reason why I'm not there. So, you know, I thought, why not just ask him? Maybe he'll mentor me, show me what he knows. And he's like, if you're serious, I'll meet you, you know, at a weekend. We'll go out for breakfast at 7 a.m. and we'll talk how I got to this point in life. And so we did. So we did that for a couple months. I started learning so much from him. You know, I just started to grow so much personally and mentally, and just started talking about this whole concept of personal development. You know, I don't think people understand the importance of that and know what it even means, right?
Yeah.
Here's the mistakes I made. Here's where I had success. Here's how I can help you.
Right. So, like I said, in my arrogance, and I think, you know, a lot of people would agree that that's how I am, right? Right, old Slick Willie. You actually humbled me on that point. I mean, I've been to a lot of conferences. I mean, the whole mastermind deal isn't something that's new. Mm-hmm. It's something that was new to this area because there really isn't a whole lot of entrepreneurs, or business-minded people that are actually meeting on a quarterly or monthly basis and talking about things. And I think that you, again, saw a problem, found the solution to it, and then brought all those things together. So I went to a couple mastermind meetings. The first one was your conference. Okay, and I liked it. You know, it had a couple of keynote speakers, which I think is kind of the premise or the foundation of that. One of the things I think is unique, and I'm going to hammer you here, right?
Let's go, bring it on.
So the next
first I need my lawyer in here. Can you
So the next one I went to, you had me at Highland, and I think it was Tim Cook.
Tim Hood, the president.
Tim Hood, the president of Highland, was speaking, and you got me out of bed at 6 o'clock.
I did.
5:30 in the morning for that. And it wasn't that Tim wasn't a dynamic speaker, but I sent you a message after that, and I said, you know, I'm probably not going to attend this event anymore because I don't see the value in it for a Wantreprenuer, somebody who's trying to get into business. As an entrepreneur, I didn't, you know, because I feel like I'm in between. You know, I'm the entrepreneur. I'm always wanting to do something else, so I always have these ideas over here just cooking. And then also like legitimate, you know, multi-million-dollar businesses that I'm running. So I always feel like I'm in between that, and I didn't feel like I got as much as I thought you were going to offer me. And how do you think that particular mastermind went versus what you wanted it to go, and how do you think you're going to get us, as entrepreneurs, to continue coming to these events?
Right. Yeah, so Mastermind, when it first started, definitely has taken on a different light, or better yet, a different structure. The goal has always been the same, to bring people together to help each other, right? Because there's no need to make the same mistake that somebody else made. If you can learn that and prevent it, that's ideal, right? So that's always at the core of Mastermind, regardless of the structure. Now, different structures naturally, aren't as strong as other ones, right? So in the beginning, when we started meeting, it was at a restaurant, 4 or 5 guys at a table. Throughout the course of a breakfast, we talk about, this is the problem I'm having. What's the solution you guys could offer me? Like, what advice could you offer me?
What would you do if you were me?
Yeah. I mean, people have, perspective on something where you're looking at it from your own view. Maybe somebody can shed a different light on it and say, well, have you tried this? And they're like, I actually haven't, and that makes sense. Let me go ahead and try that.
Do you feel like at some of these that you run into some people that are just like that's not a problem, that's an excuse? I always feel, and I catch myself doing it. I'm like, man, millennials, well, I'm a millennial. I mean, technically, when you're dealing with these groups of people, like when I went to the one at Highland, Tim's a dynamic speaker. He keeps you entertained.
He does.
But one of the things that I was hoping to see is that if I was a prospective or newly current entrepreneur, talk to me about marketing. Talk to me about how did you launch a business? Talk to me about what are some steps that I should take. Talk to me about those types of things. And possibly have this mastermind be about launching a new business. This mastermind be about marketing 101 in today's market. I see these kids coming out of school for marketing and I laugh. I laugh. Me and my mom, we fight about college like all the time because she thinks it's really important and I tell her it's irrelevant. Did you go to college?
I did. I went to Highland.
Did you?
2 years, yeah.
Okay. Are you utilizing that every single day?
Certain aspects.
Yeah.
Not all of it.
Not that the experience wasn't good, okay? Because I'm not knocking that. But what I am saying is that for most of these degrees, and I'll tell you, I was a police officer, right? For 3 years. And nothing I learned with my bachelor's degree in criminal justice even remotely prepared me to be a cop.
I believe it.
Yeah.
I totally believe it. Yep.
Crazy. So why are we having these kids spend the money for that? And so it's like, that's the kind of thing that I was thinking Mastermind was going to be. And I'm not asking you to do that, but I'm just trying to get your thoughts on that idea.
Right. Yeah, so, ultimately, people will seek and naturally gravitate to the position they are in life, right? So what I mean by that is, you're a highly successful guy, Jeff. Let's just get that out of the way, right? It's on the table. Everybody knows it now, right? You're a highly successful guy. The people you're probably looking to learn from, in certain aspects and categories, maybe Mastermind doesn't offer that to you and can't offer that to you for a couple reasons. One, I'm not a millionaire. I don't know how to tell you yet how to get $1 million because I haven't done it. Now, do I listen to millionaires talk and tell you what they say? Absolutely. I haven't done it from experience. So I can only, it's like leadership. You can only be a leader to a certain point.
So if you're level, right?
Yeah, if you're a level 5 leader, everybody else you're leading is either a 5 or below. If you wanna be a level 6 leader, well, stop following a leader that's a level 5 leader. You know what I'm saying?
No.
So I
ready
just
to lose your friends.
Yeah, I just I use that as an example because if you want to learn something how to bring a company to $20 million, maybe Mastermind is not for you because that's not the level we're at. Now, if you're somebody entrepreneurship is exciting to me. I think it's something I want to do. Okay, great. There's a lot of people in there that think that way too, but they've also created some great successful businesses. They're at the level to where they can really connect with you because not too long ago they were just there.
Right.
Where you've surpassed so many levels.
And I was putting myself in I guess I was, looking back on it now, is like I was putting myself in a prospective entrepreneur's position and saying, I come to this, I'm excited about being an entrepreneur, I really want to do this. I go to this meeting. I mean, yeah, the speech was good and the context of it was there, but did I gain anything about being an entrepreneur today? Aside from the contacts I may have made while I was there.
And that's for you to answer. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I look at somebody like you more as a mentor to people, because you've accomplished so much, whether you want to admit that or not. It's fact, man. I mean,
right.
Not any stupid idiot can build multi-million-dollar companies, So you've definitely done something for yourself, and that's noteworthy, and I know it, I see it, hence why I sought you out, right? So I see you more as a mentor to people at Mastermind, or just really throughout your life, because
I like to go and hang out there.
Come. You know what I'm saying, though? I think the point where you'll get the most of it is when you start just giving of your knowledge, your time.
And I've told people,
investment to people.
So I actually had a meeting. Well, it wasn't even a meeting. I just ran into one of our sales reps in the hall, and I don't get to talk to them so much anymore. I'm doing other things. They're busy, and I was like, Alan, I'm like, hey man, how's it going? It's been a minute since I seen you. And he was talking, and I was like, yeah, talking around the shop is, we're gonna get you some competition, in this area.
Right.
And I go, because I was never as good as I could be until I started riding and training and working with other individuals.
Right.
And I think you're absolutely right. I mean, you get stagnant sometimes in being in business, and you get so focused on what you're doing, you're not looking around you. And so yeah, definitely like you and I tend to get this way too, is like short-sighted, right? And so one of the things that you mentioned before we went on the air is that you have a new mastermind, but it's another conference coming up, and that's going to be when?
We're hoping for sometime in February.
I'm excited. It's one I want to go to. So I hope that we get a date hammered down.
We got Jeff done. You heard him say that. Is
Yeah.
this camera on? Because I got it on camera. So when I call your secretaries,
I might even go tomorrow. I'll tell you what. I woke up at 3:00 this morning. I don't know. I just couldn't sleep, man. I was just excited. I mean, we've got some really exciting things going on at TSR and at Get a Pro, and I mean we have jacuzzi, we have Kohler going. I mean, we just have like so many things that are going on at the companies. Like, I mean, I went to bed at like 11:30 and I woke up at 3. I'm like, I just cannot sleep tonight. So it's like that's like I'm getting like reinvigorated. Where maybe even whenever you talked to me a couple months ago, man, I was kind of down. Because at a certain point, there's only so many people that you can talk to, and maybe I didn't even show it, but there's only so many people you can talk to when you're at that level, and obviously you don't want to show any weakness, but at the same time, like it's
a reality.
Well, it's a reality, and it's hard because at the time, some of the struggles that we were going through, like if I told them to you, like you're like. You're mind blown, you're like, how does that even happen?
Do people know exactly what you do?
So the first business that I ever joined in with was at the time it was called Homework Central. It's now the core of it is HCI Marketing, which is doing business as 1866 Get a Pro. We have several subsidies that come off of that. We have Kohler, we have Jacuzzi, we have a Home Forever brand that we're starting. We just have a lot of things that fall underneath of the HCI Marketing brand, and that company does roofing, windows, baths. We're getting into some other products here shortly that again, it's cause for my lack of sleep. But just super exciting things that are going to be coming down the pipeline. And then I own that with my business partner Chris Boland. So he's very production oriented. So what you always find about me is I'm sales and marketing admin.
Right.
but these hands don't have a lot of calluses, brother. They just don't. And it's because my passion is the numbers, the finances, making the percentages work, so that everybody's getting paid, everybody's making money, the customer's getting a fair price, those kinds of things. And then at TSR is our concrete coating company, and if you're from Iowa, Illinois, Wisconsin,
you know them.
you know TSR.
You know TSR.
You know TSR.
Yeah.
Like we are, it's like the Million Man March, man. We are everywhere. We are driving down your street. We are the yard sign in your neighbor's house, maybe even yours. We are everywhere, and I love that about that business, where we just took like some really simple marketing concepts and we applied it, and it's working so well. I mean, not even just the marketing, but our sales team is just like so non-pressure, and we wouldn't have as many customers as we did if they were high pressure guys. You know what I mean? Like they're so non-pressure, but the real the real secret sauce is in our operations and production team that Tyler runs. If you look at all of our reviews, man, they just love our installers. Like those guys are out there. They're doing the hard work. They're grinding concrete. And people just love them. I mean, that's bottom line. Like, everybody loves our installers, so it's super, super awesome.
So, like, how did you start that? Just a quick story for people, real quick.
So
I think I have an amazing story, definitely, but, like, tell people, how did you get into entrepreneurship and business and, running multi-million-dollar companies? And we didn't even get into Get a Pro.
Yeah. So whenever I left the police department, and, I was just cruising for a job. Like, I was playing Xbox, man. Like, sitting down, feeling sorry for myself. Like, man, what's my next move? Like, I didn't even know. I didn't know you could be anything other than a police officer.
Because your dad was
my
officer,
dad was a state trooper, and it's like I'm not, so I'm not a cop anymore. Like, I'm cruising Craigslist. I'm like, oh, here's this job from this company, Erie Construction, out of Ohio, and I'm like, I don't know, that's kind of weird. And Heather was like, well, just apply for it, see what happens. And they it was like an ad for like selling metal roofs or something like that. I don't know the exact wording of it.
Right.
But, so I answered it, and like next thing I know, I'm getting a call from this guy named Rich, and he's like, hey, can you meet me at the Culvers in Winnebago? I'm like, what? Like, this is a thing? Like, this is a thing. It's real. And so I'm like, I mean, I'm not really doing anything. I guess I can. So I drive out there and I meet Rich, and I wish I still had his contact information, because he's just one of those like dynamic personalities that he's like he was a key part of me being a successful sales and marketing person in the very beginning. And so I worked for this company, Erie Construction. I was like number one or number two in the country, like selling metal roofs, right? I didn't have a clue what I was doing. I had no idea. Like, they said, hey, when you go to a house, do these things, say these things, you'll get the deal. Don't worry about it. Mm-hmm. And I was like, easy enough. So I went there, I did those things, I said those things.
So he was a mentor, and
he was my sales manager,
yep.
so to speak, and I did that, and and then like he ended up getting fired, and then they wanted me to be the sales manager, and I was like, no, I don't want to do that. Like, I'm comfortable, like, because I still had that like government worker mindset. Like, I did, it wasn't registering to me. Like $100,000, like there's no way I want to make that. Like, that was my thought process,
right?
Because I went to college knowing the most I was going to make, hopefully someday, right before I retired, would be 70 to 80. And so making six figures was just like,
it wasn't even a thought, wasn't a reality.
I wasn't even living my life by that.
Yeah.
By the possibility that it could be more. And so it was crazy, like, it happened. But it was like, for me, like, it wasn't about the money. Like, I wasn't chasing the money, man. I was chasing the high.
Yeah.
When you got your first sale, right?
Yeah.
I was chasing the high. You're always chasing the high of getting the sale. The money's always secondary, at the end of the day. And so, the hardest money I ever made was the first 100,000, because I had to break that mental barrier that was inside of me. Like, that first 100,000. Even though I really wasn't chasing it, like when it actually happened, like it was like such a surreal thing. like, holy crap, this is America. I can do this. Not only did I do it then, but I did it in the worst economy this country has seen since like 1930. Because this was like 2008, 2009.
Yep. The recession. Awful. Yeah.
Yeah. So I leave Erie and I get teamed up with Chris, and Chris owns Homework Central, and they were like our competitor, right? And I'm like, oh, I'm gonna see what this guy's all about. I'm like, I want to do my own thing because I thought, well, at this point I got the training, I feel comfortable and potentially owning my own business. I had the sales portion down, but I didn't have any appointments, which apparently is an issue. Yeah, I found out like leads, this is
you gotta get those.
Yeah, and I was like, well, how am I gonna do that?
Yeah.
I had no idea. I didn't know. So eventually, like all the contacts I built over referrals and all that over like 3 years ran out in like 3 months. So I ended up getting hooked up with Chris. Me and him talk. We sit down. I'm like, yeah, I mean, on the surface everything looks good. So I did a little stint as I just kind of shadowed for like 2 weeks. I just did it for free. I'm like, dude, I just want to see. I want to see what you have going on. I go, they were in the Quad Cities. And I'm like, it's worth it for me to give you 2 weeks for free just to see.
Yeah.
And so I did that, and I was like pumped. Like, so I came in like this consultant. Like, I was just gonna watch and see what they do. Of course, naturally, I was going to be the sales manager, and so they treat me like shit, like, because I was this consultant, right?
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I'm, at that point, you get everybody's true feelings on how they feel about Chris, how they feel about the company, how they feel about sales.
The truth comes out. Is it?
Yeah, and I'm like, I'm gonna fire all of you guys. Like, that's gonna happen. You know what I mean? I go, there's no way any of you guys can stay on the sales staff because you are toxic individuals.
Yep.
And so, long story short, like, he hires me. We just blow the projections away, man. I mean, they were like a $3 million company at the time, like 2.9, 3.1. And literally in 6 years, me and Chris have built, or 7 years now. I mean, time's flying. But in that amount of time, we took a company that was doing $3 million in revenue, and in 6-7 years we did $100 million in revenue.
Wow.
Together.
Now that could be a meeting all by itself, because that's what I'd like to talk about.
Like, that can be duplicated because we did it, and we did it right here, right? Like, so I talked to, so TSR starts like beef jerky. I have this shop, we race dirt cars, it's got a concrete floor is dusty, right, Willie?
Yeah.
So I'm like, I can't have this. This is a dusty floor. I can't have this. So I'm like, I think there's this like a product out there that like you can put on the concrete so that it's not so dusty, like some type of an epoxy or something like that. So I like researched it for like 2 years. Tried unsuccessfly to get a couple of estimates. And I called like 6 people that I thought did it, and mostly nobody returned my call. And the one guy that did return my call and come give me an estimate, I said, yeah, let's do it. He never showed up. So just like, you have like, there's this problem with oral hygiene. Yeah. I'm like, well, there's like, I know I'm not the only bro around here that wants his garage floor done. Like, I know, like, my friends have talked, like, I'm not the only guy that wants his garage space to look nice. So I'm like, man, I have a lot of concrete to do. Like, I got this like 8-car garage. I got this the 70 by 40 building. I got like $70-something thousand worth of concrete coatings to do. And I'm like, whew, that's a lot of money, but I was willing to pay it, but nobody would come do it.
Exactly.
So I was like, and it just so happened, it's always timing, right? So my buddy Tyler calls me and he goes, hey, I'm out, he's like, I knew he was in Arizona, but he's like, I'm out in Arizona, I want to come home. He's like, I don't even, because he was a cop too, right? We were neighbors, we've been friends for 27 years. And so the only thing he ever thought about being was a cop too. So he'd been a cop for 9 years. He's like, I want to come home. Like, I'm ready. And I was like, yeah, well, what are you going to do when you come home? And he's like, beats me.
Be a cop, maybe.
Yeah, he's like, maybe be a cop. I don't know. He's like, I definitely don't really want to be a cop. And I go, dude, I got an idea. Like, I got this, like, I need this floor coated. Like, I mean, you're a pretty smart guy. Like, let's do it. Like, I mean, I think me and you could do it. Like, we just gotta find the right product and find the right equipment, and I think we could do it. And I go, and maybe we can even like turn it into a business or something for you.
So business wasn't even the thought.
Wasn't the thought? No, wasn't the thought. Just like
yeah,
wasn't the thought. Like,
yeah.
like because it wasn't the money that I was seeking. I wanted my floor to stop being dirty.
Right. You were solving a problem. Yes.
Right. So I'm like, okay. So he comes home, and just so happened that one of my friends, who was my bath sales rep for GetAPro, left and joined this company, and he was happened to be selling concrete coatings as a national sales rep for him. And I'm like, I called him up. I'm like, Scott, tell me about this coating stuff. I see you're doing it. I mean, I know you wouldn't be involved if you didn't think it was a good product. And so he tells me about it, and I'm like, all right, dude, I'm excited. Like I wanna come see it, like right now. And he's like, well, there's a training next week. And I go, great, me and Tyler will be there. Tyler flies up. We drive up to La Crosse or Lakeville, Minnesota, somewhere in Minnesota, to go there. And I see it firsthand. I meet the owner of the company. I'm like, all right, let's do it. Let's do it. Like, me and Tyler talk about it for like 4 seconds. I was like, what do you think? He's like, yeah, let's do it. Like, we do it.
Just like that.
We do it.
See, and that's what I'm talking about, dude. You didn't go back and write down a book of everything, trying to figure out everything. You just took action. And now, yeah, let's figure things out too, right?
Yeah. Well, because the thing was, at the end of the day,
right,
regardless of what happened with forming the business,
you had to be out there doing it.
No, I still needed my own garage done. I didn't care. I was just like, still need my stuff done, so let's just start there, right? Mm-hmm. So the cool thing is we went from never doing a concrete coating, ever, to the largest residential concrete coating company in 9 months.
That's incredible.
Because it wasn't about money. It was about, here's a problem, here's a solution, let's deliver what nobody else is doing, and great customer service, right? Like, when you see the reviews on TSR, it goes a lot like this. Man, we set the appointment with Jenna or Stacy, or Brandy, and they were just so nice. And then, one of your designers came out and they showed us all the colors and they explained the process to us. And, we didn't choose to do it then, but, we thought about it for a week, and now we want to move forward. And so we did, and then the guys came out 4 to 6 weeks later, and our garage floors never looked better, and it's been a year.
It's amazing.
And we grew literally from me going out, doing all the sales designs for 45 days, then Tyler and Amber, Tyler's wife, going out and installing all of the first jobs, and we grew that with me and him right away in the beginning, and then Amber helping him do the installs, and then a sales guy. Hired our first employee, and then we hired our first production tech, and we just went like this, back and forth, sales, production, sales, production, sales, production, back and forth. And now, over 2 years later, we've got, from something that started as an idea, over 10 trailers, 3 locations, and we're adding trailers like 11, 12, and 13 right now.
That's amazing, man, and that's entrepreneurship, brother. And I really think where you would be of most Valley people is just talk to them of how you did that, man. Because
well, you know what I like to hear. So even people that I've been doing this for 10 years. So the whole TSR thing, it wasn't new to me. It's just you have a product, and people are always coming to me with products like kitchen cabinets and this and this and this, and I'm like, I gotta go. First off, you have to start somewhere, right? And I always tell people, if you're going to start somewhere, you have to be able to market for your product, however you're going to do that. And when you market for it, you have to have a sales team that can explain exactly what it is that you're selling, and then you have to be able to deliver what you marketed and sold for. And those aren't the same people. Slick Willie here, he is not installing floors.
We like him, but he's not gonna be.
He's not just selling and designing floors, are you?
Nope.
Are you setting appointments?
No, sir.
What are you doing?
Literally video production and social media platform for social media platforms.
Video production and social media platforming so that we can help our customers better see TSR, right? Now, were you there day one?
Nope.
No, we had to grow organically, right, to get to that point. But our customers kept asking for videos over and over and over again until I finally just did it. We experimented, like we're out there on the iPhone. I mean, you maybe saw some of the early ones. Like, we had a video that I took with an iPhone that got like 150,000 views. 150,000.
That's a lot.
That's a
lot of it.
It made Kevin Apple Facebook famous, is what we call it around here. I was like, careful, you might have some girls in your DM. But, I mean, just, like, you just work with what you have and what you know. And I get a lot of people that are like, man, like, how did you, like, the social media, like, how did you do that? I'm like, have you even taken the time to go on Facebook's platform and read how to market for Facebook? No? Good. When you do that, come talk to me. Instagram TV. I've been busting your ass about Instagram TV, have I not? Dude, it's the next YouTube. Have you looked into it?
I have not.
No, you need to, goddammit. Because you could sell sell me Fresh to Go, and I will sell Fresh to Go on Instagram right now. I promise you that we'll get a ton of people buying. Are you marketing on Instagram?
I'm not.
Get out there. Like, seriously.
IGTV, let's go!
I'm serious. You're getting big hits on YouTube right now with our videos, right?
Yep.
Like, you have to produce content. Give me that thing. You put this next to Brian Urlacher's face on a billboard in Chicago. I promise you, you're selling a gajillion. Every restaurant in town is going to want that. I mean, it doesn't matter what the product is, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, the product is irrelevant. I mean, we could change to selling pens tomorrow, but what's our niche? I mean, look at all these guys that are making like, when did the fucking razor blade thing happen? Like, I missed it. Like, razor blades were big, and then now all of a sudden, like, Dollar Shave Club sold for $1 billion. Like, that guy's a fucking genius. Sorry, he is.
Yep.
Okay. Stitch Fix. Anybody know what that is?
Nope.
Soxy.
The $1 a month Shave Club, though, I remember watching that guy on Facebook.
He started.
Mm-hmm. With his videos. What I liked about his videos is true what you said. It's the content, and it was funny.
Yeah.
It was funny.
He's making fun of cheap razor blades and how expensive they were, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. Watch Gang. I'm a member of Watch Gang. I'm not pitching Watch Gang. I just fucking love it. Every month I pay $300, and guess what? They send me a new watch every month. Every single month they send me a new watch. Okay. Now $300 a month might seem crazy to some people, but I like my watches and my hats and my clothes to all match. I mean, I like that. And I like getting something new. It's more about the new. I mean, Etsy for women. I mean, what are they paying? Like $10, $15, and they get a new thing. And I know every time, at our house, it's called a special delivery for mom, and mom goes and she opens that item. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so this is that. And I don't know. What was your projected revenue for 2018?
So that's a conversation within itself, because my accountant and I were not exactly up to par on that, but I don't know. I really don't. And the reason I don't know is because we're trying to, and this is something I'm
You need a new accountant, it sounds like.
No, not so much. It's
well,
just,
I mean, I'm just saying projected. Like at the beginning of the year, what did you say? What did you think?
40.
40, right? Okay.
Projected. But here's where too big of a vision causes a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Fresh to Go can go in so many places and be in so many businesses that you try to chase all of them.
Yeah.
And time comes by and it's sneaking up on you, and you realize, okay, you're spending your energy in so many places that you're not going anywhere.
Fair enough.
Does that make sense? So many times we've had to go, in fact, we're still in the process of actually getting serious and deciding, and you know, there's a Mike McNamara, you might have heard of the guy, he spoke at the conference, you know, he's one of my mentors, amazing guy, and this is something he tells me all the time. You got to get focused, laser focused, as he said, on just one avenue. And I have such a hard time with that.
Why?
Because, like,
you're lucky we're not business partners, because I would
oh, dude.
into the
Like I said, this is something I'm learning. You know, like, you know, I'm not a perfect guy. Like, this is something I'm learning. But it's just I see it so big and so vast. I want it now. I want to do it now. But we all know success does not come just now because you see it so big. You know, and I hate doing tedious things. They absolutely drive me nuts. You know,
right.
I assume the same goes for you too. Like, you want to be feeling like you're accomplishing something. Man, I can't sit and be doing papers and stuff. Like, you know, you have big visions. You want to do big things. So, yeah, man, it's.
So what's the step? Like, what do you like? So 40,000 was the goal. How close are you to obtain it?
We're actually not too far behind, but still, to be honest, I doubt we'll reach it though.
Why?
And no, it's my fault because I constantly change it to let's go after this. I change it. Let's go after that. Well, he had a good point. Let's go after that. So, you know, it's just something I'm learning.
So here's what I'm going to tell you. Fuck your excuses. Okay, seriously. Get focused. Get serious.
Yep.
All right. And you really need to. I mean, the mastermind thing's cool, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's cool. Whatever. I get it. But that's a hobby. All right. That is a true hobby. This is a business. And you just repackaged other people's shit. Which,
I'm
by the
selling
way,
a convenience.
yeah, so, and because it's a convenience, no different than all of the items inside of this, like, I mean, why do you think that you're not focused? I mean, what's the real reason? It's not because Slick Willie had a great idea and you're like, hey, you know what, I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to sacrifice my revenue this year because I want to try this crazy idea that this guy had. I mean, is it really because you're just the idea guy? Or is it because you can't implement the correct strategy to take it to the next level and you need help with that?
It's a little bit of both. And it's not so much I can't. I could if I really wanted to. It's just I'm so... Okay, FOMO is just what as Mike would say, you know.
Okay.
You have FOMO, Emarc, is what your fear of missing out, you know. He's like, you fear if you go down this avenue, then you're going to miss out the big one on this one. And he's like, dude, you're never going to know unless you just hone down on one of them and just 100% all energy on that. And then if it works, great. If it fails, now you know. Tackle the next one, you know. So it's really more of the fear of missing out. This could have been the big one, and I just wasted all this time on this avenue.
Are you doing all the sales?
I am. You know, right now, Fresh to Go is me, my accountant, and you know, I mean, I can't afford to hire somebody to go do sales and all of that stuff, and you know, I'm just not at that level. So, yeah. Now, of course, you know, there's people who put it on Instagram and, you know, I've gotten leads through that way. People, you know, I saw it on this person's Instagram and blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, that happens, but that's not, you know, one of our business models to where we pay them to do that. It's just they like the product, they do it. So we've gotten great business from that. That's awesome.
Right.
But yeah, I am the sales guys. I am the PR. I am the...
Delegation is key, brother. I mean, it really is. I mean, so one of the things that I do is I do every position for a certain amount of time until I can recruit, hire, and train somebody else to go and do that. And then they end up doing it better than I ever could. Because they're the foremost expert in it after a certain amount of time, right? That's where you know, like as I watch your development over this last year, like, you've got to learn to let the fuck go. Yeah.
And I agree with you, but it's just, I'm trying to find that point to where I can, though. I mean, realistically, I'm still a starter. I'm still a starter.
Yeah, but you'll never know if you can afford it until you try.
True. good point there, but there's
Here's
also
the
a point
thing,
of being realistic.
Like seriously, like I'll use a car for an example, right? Like there's a Tesla out here
Mm-hmm.
in the parking lot. Like, can you afford that?
No.
You don't know that. You've never bought one.
Currently.
You've never bought one and attempted to try to afford it.
Currently, my financial situation would. Okay.
Yeah,
Let me say. Let me
I
say it this
guarantee
way.
you, if you have a $3,000 a month car payment, you're going to sell enough of these to
Let me
make
say
that
it this
payment.
way. Okay. Let me say it this way. Yes, I can afford a Tesla. I can afford to buy a Tesla right now.
Any car, whatever it is.
Yeah, sure. Now, see, I see affording very different than most people. Just because you have the capability to pay $300 a month on a car does not necessarily mean you can afford it.
No, I'm just saying
that's how I look at it.
But I'm using that car as an example of building your business, okay? And that was just like a vehicle or a tool as an example. And I'm saying to you, an admin, it's going to keep the paperwork churning inside that business, okay? I'm talking about a sales guy that's going out every day pushing this product. Whether you're sleeping, you're bodybuilding, you're doing whatever it is that you're doing, there is a representative for this product waiting or pushing it out every single day. And I had this same conversation with somebody who used to work for me, who lives up in the Appleton area, and you know, he's like, you know, Jeff, man, he's like, I just really respect, you know, like, how did you balance your work and your life? And he's like, man, I just feel like I'm coming off the train tracks, and I said, well, tell me what's up, tell me what's going on, and he did, and I was like, Shane, like, did you know what the fuck to do? Like, I was the guy that trained you how to do that. Like, you know, you need to hire an admin, maybe two. I go, why are you doing $8 to $15 an hour tasks when you should be out seeking the clients and building the business?
Yeah.
And sometimes I think you get so caught up on, and me, this last 12 months with Get a Pro, I got so caught up on working in the business that I was never working on the business. And with TSR, I was always working on the business and not necessarily in the business all the time. And so the business was able to grow and flourish, where over there I wasn't delegating. I thought I could do it all myself. Like, I was frustrated with some of the people that we had there, you know, and then I finally just, like, you know, I hit the brakes and I'm like, we got to back up, man. Like, we got to go back to working on the business and not in the business so that we can deliver a better experience to our customers. And I think that whenever you do that, like, it's going to go gangbusters. You won't be able to control the growth.
Yeah. And I think that's something Mark Cuban says a lot too. Shark Tank.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, that's something he preaches all the time. You got to work in the business and not on. You know, and I hear that a lot. I hear it a lot, and you know, you're just reiterating, and it makes sense. It's just I got to get to that point then to where I do let go. You know, and eventually I will get there.
So what are you going to do when you leave here?
I'm gonna go train Alex. You know Alex. So we're gonna go training at the Y, and then I have one more meeting after that, and then I have a date after that, and then hopefully I'll be in bed because I gotta wake up very early for mastermind.
But what are you going to do with that? That's my point.
Well, as far as, you know, applying that, man, it's just really getting myself, just because I know it does not mean it's easy to do. You know, you would think, yeah, just do it. You know, it's just, I gotta find out, okay, what is it exactly?
I'm going to run this kid over. I'm going to run him over. I'm going to straight run him over.
Well, speaking of which, what time is it?
4:30.
4:30.
Okay, I got like 15 more minutes.
Yeah.
But no, it's just a matter, Jeff, really, of just finding out, like, what is it exactly I need to see in order to let that go. And I'm not sure exactly what it is.
Okay.
You know? So it's good you're challenging me on that because it's something I hear all the time and I don't do it.
Well, and it's easy to take your business and then, you know, look at it from a third party perspective and sit over here and go, yeah, I've been there. Okay, this is what it needs to do. This is what works for me, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
You know, all the mentor shit that you were talking about, like, I mean, I see it, like, right now. Like, I'm like, okay, well, this is exactly what I would do. Here's how we're going to handle this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I really feel like you know, in the grand scheme of things, like, man, it's a huge opportunity waiting out there for you, and could be way bigger than you ever thought of.
Right. Yep.
You have to go take it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's what we did at TSRs. We just took it. Like, we didn't ask for permission. We just went straight out there for the jugular. And you know, whether we put people out of business or not, you know, that's neither here nor there.
It's not personal.
We just delivered a substantially superior product with an excellent service and follow up and commitment behind it, and it made such a difference that, like, the whole concrete coatings industry was just like shell shocked. Like, oh, these guys actually do this for a living. It's not a hobby, because that's what we were seeing, is it was like a hobby. Okay, and not to punk you out on the camera, but right now you're treating it a little bit like a hobby, where you're somebody who pours concrete and you sometimes do coatings. You know, you're somebody who, you know, you're an entrepreneur and you sometimes sell Fresh to Go, right? And I think if you were the CEO of Fresh to Go and sometimes did Mastermind as a hobby, you would see a huge difference in this.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting because Mastermind it's a passion in the sense that, you know, deep down people are a passion of mine, you know, and maybe you could say the same thing too. You know, I love bringing people together for the sake of each other, to learn, you know, from each other. Because like I said, I just don't believe in making the same mistake somebody else did when you can take the shortcut from them and learn how to avoid that. Right. You know, like, there's a wealth of information I can learn from you because you're so much further ahead than me, Jeff. You know, so I'm sure if we continue to have these camera meetings, or whether it's private, public, I don't care. Point is, there's so much I can learn from you because you've been there, done it, and are doing the same thing on a bigger scale. You know?
Right. One last thing. What do you want to know?
What do I want to know in regards to what?
Any of it. Anything. You get one last question before I kick you the fuck out of here.
Oh, dude. Okay. Well, the last question I'd have for you would be, so Get a Pro, that's your other business that you're part of. And if I understand correctly, it's somewhat of a franchise that you had bought into, or did you start that from?
No, so what it was Homework Central. So I'll let you finish your question.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so if I understand it correct, I thought it was a franchise type of business, and you bought into it, and now you're the CEO. So now I'm intrigued to know, how the heck did you do that?
Okay, so what it was a company called Homework Central, and my business partner, Chris Bowling, who actually is the majority shareholder of that business, super dynamic guy, creative. Like your guys' personalities are way more similar than me and him, which is probably why me and him work well together. Because if you two work together, you guys would just be like fucking bouncy balls. Yeah, nobody would ever get anything done, because eventually somebody's got to say no, right? So he owned a company called Homework Central, and the problem with it was like the whole premise was like, we're the one-stop shop for all your home solution, you know, home improvement needs, right? Make sense? People kept calling us to help their kids with homework.
Not really.
But yeah, so
it's not centered enough.
But that's what, you know, and he had bought the company from a previous owner who pretty much like ran it into the ground. You know, he's in this whole like 10-year rebuilding phase, and he's doing a pretty good job, but like he is stuck. And he knows he's stuck, and I'm stuck. Like, so then like we come together, and the whole idea whenever me and him got together is that if I help you grow your business, you will let me write a check to buy it. Right? Pretty simple. That's what the whole premise of it was. And so we went from Homework Central, we shortened that up to HCI, because nobody knew what Homework Central was anyways. HCI Marketing LLC, and then that has the doing business as, you know, we have the GWG, the Kohler franchises, and then we created this brand, you know, 1866 Get a Pro, because we had a marketer that was doing, a vendor marketer was doing work for us, and she was like, you know, get a pro, we're the ones to know, call 1866 Get a Pro. So like, that's how the whole Get a Pro thing started. So that was like the brand, and then we built the product lines off of that. And so I basically, I leveraged my entire life. My house, every vehicle that I had, every dollar I had in checking, cash, savings, and I wrote him a big check with a lot of zeros on it for my first 20%. And that was pretty fucking scary. I was nervous. But relieved, right? Because when I gave it to him, and he was able to pry it from my hand, because it went a little bit like this. When he finally took it, like, the weight was off my shoulders because it was put up or shut up at this point. Like, you will build this or you will fail. And I just gave this guy $200,000 for nothing at that point, right? So it was make it or break it. And, like, we just straight made it. And then I buy in a little bit more every year, and I think I'm up to like 40% or something like that. And just recently, like, I just took over, the operations side of things, because he's earned it, man. He's earned it to take a step back. I mean, he's been grinding for 20 something years, and I just finally came to him. I said, it's, enough's enough. Like I'm ready. Like 6-7 years ago, I was just this kid that sat in front of you. I go, and when me and you got together, like, you hired me for this moment right here. I go, now get out of my way.
And now you're transitioning to CEO.
Yeah, we're most of the pretty much all the day-to-day primary functions are coming through me. Like, Chris is still he's still active in the business, but he's more, because he's a lot like you, and he likes to shift his focus a lot. Like, he's working on whatever he feels is like an individual project within that business, and then I'm running the day-to-day stuff. So it actually works out, like, for me and him, I think it's going to work out super good, because he's able to focus on whatever that project is that he feels really passionate about for those 2 weeks.
Right.
And then, he knows it, I know it, he's just going to bounce around, through the company. But he's also earned it to not have to be there, if he doesn't want to, which that's not him, he's not going to do that. But he's definitely earned the right to walk away today and collect a paycheck for the rest of his life, if that's what he wants to do. And, like, I'm straight with that. Like, I signed up for that.
Right.
I committed to that 6-7 years ago, and I'm ready. We're gonna, he's been preparing me, and I've been doing most of the tasks. And then now that I've built TSR over the last 2 years with Tyler, I am even more ready. Like, now it's not 6 or 7 years of experience. It's the 3 I had, plus that, plus the 2 at TSR. I'm like 12, 15 years into this thing now, where, like, we're going to make it happen.
So really, I know we both got to get going here, but here's my final last question. So we're kind of getting to the more esoteric kind of section. So if you stripped everything, with all the success you've had, right? If all of it was to be, like, done tomorrow, you went bankrupt, you had to start from the ground up, dude, for some reason it's done, you don't have anything, what would be the number one, whether you want to call it a trait, character, skill, talent, philosophy, that you'd want to have to help you rebuild it? Just one, out of everything you've learned, out of everything you know.
Like, if it was done?
Yes, like, if all this was taken away from you.
Like, I took an L?
You took a major L, bro. Like, I'm talking, you took negatives upon negative L's.
Yeah.
All this is stripped from you. What's the number one thing you would want that you have that would help you rebuild it? Whether it's your grit, your stamina, your patience, I don't know.
I think it's 2 things. The first thing is like, I don't quit. Like, I'm not a quitter. I've never been a quitter. I'm not going to allow, first of all, I would never allow that, because I would shove my foot straight up defeat's ass. So I would never allow it, but, like, I wouldn't quit. Like, okay, so we take a loss, everything's gone. I have 10 to 15 years worth of knowledge. I'm gonna pick a product, and I don't give a shit if I have to go buy your used $120 bike from you, or borrow it. Maybe I have to borrow it because I don't have anything.
I'd rent it out.
You know, rent it.
You gotta make money.
You know what? If you were smart, knowing me, you'd say, you know what, Jeff, just give me 5% of all the sales you get while you're riding that bike. You know, I would go make it happen. So not accepting defeat. And then the second thing is I have a very unique ability, at least I feel, that I can build teams. Like right here at this company. I mean, I don't even think people even realize how many people work at TSR. I mean, we're like 30 plus strong.
That's incredible, dude.
Yeah, and Get a Pro,
Right.
God knows how many people work there. I'll be honest with you, I don't even know how many people work there. I probably should know that.
So it's over 30.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. It's more than 30 that work there. So like you know, between me and Chris and me and Tyler, like we probably employ more than 100 plus people around the area in the respective territories. And so, and I got that from Chris. You know, Chris is like super, like, because he's that dynamic, creative personality, like you can get people to follow you, right? Like, I mean, I think that maybe that's one of the things that you're struggling with over here is building the team. Is like, I don't think that you couldn't get people to follow you. I think that you know, the commitment of taking a person, Slick Willie for instance, and committing a salary or a paycheck to said individual without knowing if you can deliver, that's fucking gut-wrenching. Isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
What if you asked somebody to quit their job, to come work for you, to believe in you, and you couldn't, or you didn't know if you could provide for them, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
Remember I said,
Yes,
I
yeah.
used the Tesla as an example? Emarc, you will find a way, even if you have to go without, to make sure that that person gets a paycheck. And so I never accept defeat, but I always make sure that I'm building great teams. And you're going to lose people. I mean, actually, we lost a person today. I don't even know if you saw my Facebook page.
I did not.
So, actually today, and I've known Brian for a long time, but, you know, for his personal reasons and for the company, like, he wasn't really a good fit for us anymore. And so, take a look at that. So, read it out loud, because not everybody can see it.
Okay, let's Alright, so today we wish good luck and farewell to one of our own. Brian Myers has been part of the Gay Pro Sales family for nearly 3 years. Wow, quite a while actually. We are super proud of you, buddy, and wish you the best in your future endeavors, and we know you'll be a success in everything you do. It's never goodbye, it's just till next time. So you guys didn't fire him, he just decided to, for whatever reason.
Well, no, we just parted ways. I mean, it was mutual. You know, like, you know, his passion for that, for what we were doing, really wasn't there anymore. And we talked to him about it. He talked about it, and we just kind of reached a decision where it's just like, you know what, dude, it's you know, go seek out what you think is going to be your next thing, and then let's just make that happen.
Yeah.
And you know, when we're in this whole, like, you know, today we're in this, you know, it's like is it a resignation? Is it fired? I'm like, it doesn't really matter.
He doesn't
what
work
it
here
is.
anymore.
Yeah, well, neither did we, right? So, but it doesn't take away from the fact that, like, he worked for us for 3 years. Like, he was part of that family. Like, he was part of that team, and that you know that I had built. And he was like, dude, this is like the weirdest. Like, I didn't expect it to go this way. And I'm like, bro, like, you put in work. Like, I respect the fuck out of that. I go, and it doesn't matter if you don't work for us anymore. Like, to me, I want you to go out and I want you to be successful, because if I did my fucking job the last 3 years, you're going to be more successful than anybody thought that you could be. And you're going to look back on the time that you spent with us, and you're going to be like, man, if I would have done that, I don't think I would have made it doing this. But I took that experience, and I'm out here killing it, and you know, Jeff was a part of that. Like, there's nothing to be fucking angry about. You know, I take that as that's a notch in my belt, you know.
Yeah.
So that felt pretty good. The one thing I can't fucking stand is when somebody says, hey bro, how do I apply at one of your companies? And I'm like, why would you want to do that? If you ask somebody, have you ever asked somebody that? Or have you ever been asked that when you ask, how do I apply here? And they send back like money emoji signs. Or dollar signs, right? Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, if you want to come work for one of our organizations, and dude, I hope you hold this for Fresh to Go. If you want to work at one of our organizations or any company, your sole purpose is not money. The first thing you should want to do is protect the brand and the image of the company that you work for. And if you're only going there for money, you're going there for the wrong reasons. And that company shouldn't fucking hire you. Because that scenario is going to always end poorly.
Let's be, and I don't want this to go too long because you gotta go here, but like, let's be realistic though. Most people who want to work for a company literally just want a paycheck. So then we can agree on that, right? Most people just want a paycheck. It's a form of, I have bills, I have a family.
I disagree though. I mean, I really disagree. I mean, what's the biggest problem with millennials? We can't get them to work. Right? That's
right.
How many times have you heard that?
No, so many times. So a lot.
Fucking inspire them. That's the biggest thing. You have to inspire them.
Thank you. That's where I was going with this. I don't think companies are realizing it needs to be, whether it should be their responsibility or not, that's another conversation. But this is the reality. You should make it your responsibility then to cast such a vision on that person who wants to work for you to where their mentality shifts to, oh my gosh, this is something I just want to be a part of. Not just I want to come in and put in my 9 to 5 and then comes the weekend, fuck them, who cares what happens.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because then you're buying into the company and not just into the wallet.
Yeah, I want the person that's calling me that's like, yo, we got an issue. It's Sunday night at 9 o'clock, but I give a fuck.
Right.
About
And they'll
what's
be
going on.
there.
Yeah.
Because, man, no, like, TSR, no, that's my family, man. Like, like, that's my family. Like, those guys have been there for me.
But was I inspiring these people in the correct way? Was the inspiration that they had, were they proud to say where they worked? I think if I look back, and I'm honest with myself, like, the answer is probably fucking no. Like, it's no. Like, they weren't proud of where they work. I mean, why does somebody work at Tesla for $36,000 a year selling $160,000 cars? Emarc?
Yeah, it's probably the atmosphere, the vision, the people, and most importantly, the people they work with.
They sell a product that's innovative, and when they go home and tell their families that they work at Tesla,
it makes them feel like there's something.
Oh, you work at where?
Yeah.
Tesla, the car company.
It's
Really?
more to do with them than the actual company,
Yeah.
I feel like I'm somebody because I work for this company, not the other way around. The company is something, therefore I work for them. Because at the end of the day, they don't care about the company.
No, but Tesla has a vision that inspires people across all ages.
Exactly. Yep.
Right? And I hope that and I know, okay, because I really feel this way, like, and as we keep going, within my businesses for sure, like, our goal is going to be to build a career path and inspire people. So, and I always tell them that, now, the end goal may not be for you to be here forever. Like, that may not be your career path. Your career path might end up as the CEO of fucking John Deere. Who knows? You know what I mean? But while you're here, like just do it. Build the contacts. Make the experiences happen. And I'll give you a great recommendation, But just go 100 all the time. Go 110% while you're here. And I think that's how you get to these people. Like, I mean, I literally, you see that? It's a stack of applications that are waiting to get in these doors. When's the last time you heard that?
Not too long ago.
Yeah, it's crazy, right? A stack of people that are just waiting to come through the door.
Or the people that I do know that have a stack, they actually can't hire any of them because it's these people, like, the hours they put down, I can work 2 hours a day. They're not realistic applications. Yeah. So
No, I mean, we literally have people that are like beating down the door that want to come work for us, but you know, you have to be careful about that culture and protecting that image.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I interviewed a kid today. I was like, you don't understand. You know, your ability to apply this coding is secondary to your protecting the brand for ourselves and for our customers. Like, and he kind of like checked himself. Like, man, am I gonna be, like, you can see his wheels turning. Like, am I gonna be able to do that? Is that something I'm capable of?
Well, that's awesome that like you're forcing them to think that way too.
And I'm like, if you can't do that, if you can't protect the brand, if you can't go out and not get hammered and drunk and get a DUI with my hat on,
Right.
Don't-
This is not. This is not
your
This
thing.
is not the spot for you. Yep.
Right.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
dude, I want to follow up. I
Yep.
want to thank Emarc. I want to, fresh to go. Mastermind in February. Slick Willie, thanks for the videography. See you later, bro.
Dude, thanks, brother. Appreciate it.